Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome along to the Flying Daf Squash tournament here at J Club here in Jumeirah. We've got a match coming up very, very shortly for you. And yeah, so thank you first of all for joining us. Today's match is going to be one of the group stage matches here in the tournament. And we're looking forward to a good battle between these two players. At 2 minutes. Again, welcome everybody into this competition here, the Flying Daf Squash tournament down at the J Club in Jumeirah. And we have one of the group matches coming up, and it's Dario versus Abdulaziz. Cool, so this match is expected to be quite a close match between the two players. The younger of the two, Dario there, taking on the little bit more experienced Abdulaziz in this competition here. So the players just going through their warm-up routine. We're only about 30 seconds away from the match getting underway. If you are new to squash, you're about to learn a lot more about the game and see the fitness, the skill set, the intricacies required behind this this beautiful game. Cool, so coming up, final preparations here. If you haven't been down here before, make sure to head your way down to J Club in Jumeirah, and you'll be able to check out these amazing facilities here. Cool, and also for today's match, we'll Cool. And what you'll see today, that actually you'll see on the scoreboard there is 5 sets, but this one is first to 2 games. First to 2 games in this one. So we're using American scoring, which simply means every time a player wins the play, he also wins the point as well. So you'll see the scores will be up to 11, but again, the player must win by 2 points as well if they're looking to take out a game. Go. Alrighty, for you guys just joining us at home. We're down at the J Club down in Jumeirah, and we've got a competition match going on here at the Flying Daf Squash tournament, being held over the Thursday, Friday, and again the finals will be on tomorrow, Saturday afternoon as well. So you expect those finals around 4 or 5 o'clock. And if you are available and free, and you are one of those lucky few that can squeeze into the space, make sure you head on down here. Joining commentary today, Kanzi, the organizer of, and in fact the founder
yes.
of the Flying Daf Squash Academy and the Squash Tournament. Welcome onto the commentary side of things.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
A little bit different for you, won't it?
I've done it before.
Oh, perfect.
I usually like to play, not stay on the outside.
Stay on the outside.
But it'll be good. Hopefully it'll be exciting.
Guys, so the match is about to get underway here in the next 30 seconds. Nancy, tell us a little bit more about the competition, the tournament itself.
So this is actually the first mixed tournament we have. I launched the academy over 2.5 months ago, and we had one ladies tournament, last month. This is the first tournament that we have it mixed. We were actually, it was very exciting because even though it's summer in Dubai, we were able to get about 40 players to register in the tournament. It's actually open to all levels, all ages, female or male. Anyone can participate. But what we did is that we kind of split people into different categories so that people can fit in their different levels. The match that's about to happen right now is an exhibition match. The guy on the right, his name is Abdelaziz, he's Egyptian. He's actually a coach. And the one on the left, his name is Dario. He's a junior player from India who's very, very good. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a lot of fun.
Is it kind of the master and the apprentice side of things in this?
Yeah, and the underdog. We can actually put bets on this match because I'm not sure who's gonna win. So do you want to play?
Okay, it's $1.
So, realistically speaking, Abdelaziz, who's in the black T-shirt, he's the one who should win. Mm-hmm. Dario is the underdog in the situation. So it's going to be interesting.
What's some of the things you've seen with Dario's development, progression over the last, say, 6 months?
Yes. So Dario's actually training with us. He's been training with us for 3 months, just under 3 months. and he's been improving drastically, which is why we picked him to play that exhibition match, because we kind of figured that he would be at that level to play, one of the elite players. So as you can see, I mean, it's tough for non-squash players to understand what's happening here, but they both have very fluid and very smooth movement while hitting the ball. Even in their movements, they're not really sprinting. It's not staggered. It's like very organized movements.
So what's one of the strategies then? Let's start there. For people that are not used to the game of squash, what's one of the strategies, the basic strategies you'd have here?
So the basic one and the most common one is for you to really put the ball in the back corners, so either on the forehand or in the backhand corners, to put your opponent under pressure. And you don't go for the drop shots in the front unless you have a very obvious opportunity. Because if you go too early in the front, then you're putting yourself in danger. So first you play a defensive game in the back. As you can see here, they're both, they're playing most of their shots in the back. And once you have a very clear opportunity, then you can go and attack. So this is kind of the basic one. Everyone kind of goes with that strategy. A lot of people are weaker on their backhand sides. So, you'll see the focus is there in the backhand corner in the back. Because usually a lot of players are, weaker on that side than on the forehand side.
If you're watching at home, there's a bit of a treat there. Nice long rally between the two players. I'm not sure how many shots that was. I'd say a 30 plus.
Yeah. There's actually a Guinness World Records title held for the most shots played, and it's about 3,674, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my gosh.
In one rally, yeah. So that's the Guinness World Records.
It's kind of a treat to watch this game because they are two quality players and they are making it look very, very easy. One of the things I learned when I was very, very young, and I can't remember how long ago now, so we won't go there, but how tight to keep the ball to the wall when you're doing your drive shots down. I mean, these guys are keeping it very close to the wall.
Yeah. Also, squash is one of those games where when you watch it, you think it's very easy. But when you go on court, you don't, then you realize how hard it is. This pace that they're playing, the rhythm, it's extremely fast. And getting the balls, as you said, like the balls near the wall are very, very hard to get. So yeah, those are, high quality players. So we're talking about advanced level. So have you ever played squash?
I've dabbled around a little bit. Played it once or twice. I remember, when I was younger, our mum was, she loved squash. She was a C1 grade player. And so she dragged us down to the squash court early mornings when it came to training for her. So she could have someone to play against. And it's just something we took on, I think, myself when I was probably about 7.
Nice. Yeah, it's a very undervalued and underrated sport in the UAE. So the aim of the academy is to make it as popular as possible and to really attract as many people as we can to practice the sport.
That's a good kind of segue to kind of what I want to ask you is about the game of squash and the development globally coming in here into UAE, because obviously you've been around, you've played a bit of squash, you've represented really well. What is something that you've probably seen in the last 10 years and where can it potentially go?
So, the UAE is one of those countries that, fortunately, you have the government and you have so many associations and organizations that really support athletics. And they also really support women and kids. So this is kind of, this is where I got lucky, is that, I'm based in a place where I have a lot of support. Every time I have an idea to promote the sport, whether it's to children or to women or even to mixed people, I find myself very supported from so many different organizations. So I think down the line, I would say not even 10 years. I think give it just 2 or 3 years, and I think the sport can really, really transform in the UAE. Especially, with the heat. It's an indoor sport. You have air conditioning, and Dubai is very hot. So people want to exercise in the AC, where at the same time they can burn, We have people burning up to 1,000 calories per hour playing squash.
It's actually a fun fact, that one, because squash is, I believe, number 1 or number 2 as far as calorie burning per hour. Like, it's one of the most high calorie burning things you can do.
Yes, definitely. And it was rated by Forbes, one of the healthiest 10 sports in the world, scientifically proven.
It's always good to
It's,
have science as a backup, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, if you think about it, squash, you have flexibility, you have strength, you have agility, you have power, you have endurance. Like and you need hand-eye coordination. So it really combines so many skills and so many strengths at the same time. So it's like a full body workout, and you can be out of breath from the first 5 minutes. You can literally, like, it's
I
it's
can
really
attest to that,
intense
by the way.
workout. Yeah.
Absolutely attest to that. Dario putting in some great shots there.
Yeah, so we're still in the first game. Dario is 6, the guy in the yellow shirt, and Abdelaziz is 9, so he's taking the lead. But as you can see, like the main thing is that they're both trying as much as possible to hit the ball in the back. So Dario just won a shot right now because he put a lot of pressure in the back. So 7-9, he's currently catching up. So the winner needs to get 11 points. So Abdelaziz is only 2 points away from winning the game.
Oh, unfortunate.
10,
Yeah.
yes. Unfortunate error. Such a critical time too. So 10-7, Abdelaziz taking the lead, and he's 1 point away from winning the first game. If I knew that they were this low, I would have jumped on court myself. It's so frustrating to watch from the outside, especially when you're a player.
When did you transfer from off the pro circuit to more just the coaching?
2 years ago. So I was a pro until end of 2019. I reached number 21st in the world, and then I decided to take it, into the coaching career. So 1-0 to Abdelaziz. He won 11-9, so it's extremely close. As you can see, they're both completely out of breath.
You can't quite see it on screen at the moment, but the players
yeah.
just come in front of us.
Yeah.
Having a deep breath at the moment, drinks.
Yes. So so excited to see what's next to come. I'm putting all of my bets on Dario just because I always, encourage underdogs. I'm always cheering the person who's not supposed to win, just because it's a lot more exciting.
Not even 100%. Are these players both ranked at the moment?
No, they were. So actually, Dario is ranked in India. He's one of the top junior Indian players. Abdelaziz is not ranked, but he is a professional coach who has coached, Noor Sherbini, who's currently world number 1. He's coached so many girls and boys who are currently in the top 10s. So he's, very, very highly qualified coach.
What's something you can expect to see here then in the second game?
So in the second game, I mean, it would be really good if Dario can put more pressure on Abdelaziz by making him, really pushing the ball to the back and making him run more. Because what I notice is when they have long points, Dario ends up winning the point. So if he can really push that ball to the back and just keep Abdelaziz running, then he can really catch up, and he might actually have a chance of winning the game. Squash is always best of 5, so Abdelaziz is currently in the lead of 1-0, but he needs to win 3 games. So 2 more to be able to win the match. So 1 error from Abdelaziz. So that means Dario is taking the lead. Another error. So this is also one other thing about squash. It's like if you mentally if you lose your focus for a split second, you can lose 3 or 4 points in a row without even realizing. So it's very important to always stay so concentrated and so focused and not to let anything from the outside distract you. You know, it's very easy to get distracted. Abdelaziz now did 3 errors in a row, so Dario is in the 3-0 lead. But one of the things I always struggled with as a player is, you know, not to let my head think about anything else except the point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many people watching, and there's so many thoughts running through your head when you play. You know, what's gonna happen when I beat this person, or you know, who am I gonna play next, or who's watching, or it's so easy to get in your head and to lose focus on the actual point that you're playing.
Yeah.
So this is one of the biggest challenges.
Especially when you're ahead, right? You're ahead by one game, you're getting
course.
comfortable, and then
Yeah.
you can get into a...
And you know, people always say in the professional league that squash is 80% mental and 20% physical. So it's so intense on the mental, you know, the mental capacity that you need is so intense because you need to be thinking every second where you're gonna hit the ball. You need to have a strategy. You're not just playing randomly, right? Every shot has a consequence. So currently Abdelaziz caught up, so he is 3-3 current score.
So just ignore that scoreboard on there at the moment. It's actually got 4-3, but...
Oh, 4-3, okay.
It was called 3-3 by the official.
Oh, I see. So more errors. So, I mean, in the second game, it's going a lot faster. Both players are making a lot more errors than in the first game.
Do you think a slight part of complacency after that first game? I mean, it seemed a little bit like they were playing that exhibition match where they made the rallies longer a little bit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the first game is always different because usually squash players, you know, in the first game you have so much energy, you have so much adrenaline, and you go in full out. And it's very common for people to always win the first game, but to lose the whole match.
mm-hmm.
Because then you kind of lose momentum. So it's very important to be at a healthy adrenaline state, at a healthy excitement level, so you can keep it for the whole minute after the first game.
Kind of that word composure comes to mind. I remember back in my day, you know, I can say that. It's been a little while since I've played, but it was definitely one of the things I had to learn as a youth, a younger player, not to let my emotions get a hold of me and take control, because then otherwise, because I was like that day, I was playing a lot of older people as well at the time, so always trying to think I should win every single point, you know.
Yeah. No, definitely. And like I said, it's so easy to be in the lead and then all of a sudden you just blink and the game is gone.
Beautiful rally there.
Another error from Dario. So Abdelaziz currently taking the lead. So this is, you know, typical example. Dario came in so excited, you know, for the second game. He played full on the first 4 points. He was in the lead. But now all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, it's already 7-5 for Abdelaziz. So Abdelaziz won 7 points in a row.
Beautiful rally there. It's 100%. I got to agree. I mean, the experience is coming out, isn't it? The experience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Abdelaziz is 26 years old and Dario is, if I'm not mistaken, he's 15. So there's at least 10 years difference between them.
Mm-hmm.
it's always like that, you know, older players who've been on tour or have been playing for a long time, they might not be as fit or as, you know, as excited, but they really are so experienced that they know exactly what shot to play at what moment.
That's a good point. Now we're talking about age. What age do you think is the pinnacle of an athlete in squash?
Honestly, the sooner the better. We take people as young as 4 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but I think after 8, you know, 8 or 9 would be the maximum age if you're looking to become an advanced player or a pro player,
Mm-hmm.
because those years are super critical for you to learn the basics and to, you know, squash is so complicated in terms of technique, so you really got to know the basics from a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
If you start later on, it's very hard for you to pick it up later.
What's that saying? Hard to teach old dog new tricks.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can still do it, of course, but you know, usually pro players start at, I would say 7 is a very common age.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we don't. It's very uncommon for someone to start at 12 or 13 and then to turn pro or, you know, to play at a high level.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a good age.
Who did you look up to when you were going through your development in the youth style?
So I actually grew up with all of the you know, pro players growing up, like Rami Ashour and Amr Shabana and Karim Darwish, Ali Farag. Like I grew up in Egypt, so I was surrounded by top players in the world. So I don't necessarily have one person, but I was very fortunate to grow up against so many legendary players that I would see on a daily basis and even played with. So I don't have one person, but it's mostly like the environment and the atmosphere that I was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of helped,
Probably no better
really
place
inspired
really, is
me.
there?
Yeah, it really inspired me.
So here in game number 2 games in, and Abdulaziz there winning the first one 11-9, the second one 11-5, so taking a little more command in that second game. And then game number 3 coming up shortly. Can Dario come back and pull this one back up, or will Abdulaziz run away with it and take this 3-0? Cool, so both players coming back onto court right now after having a bit of a water, a bit of a sit down, as we saw in front of us here, as we're just off to the side. We're just actually up to the right-hand side of the court here, and Kanzi is just off helping a couple other people, as this is her tournament, and she's been organising the players and the referees, the umpires, and all the other helping with all the staff. She's got a team behind her, but she's a busy lady. So, yep, we're now looking at game number 3 here. Again, Dario, the younger, and I didn't actually realize how young Dario is, but he's doing a fantastic job keeping himself in the match and looking to keep the exhibition going, as they say. Remember, tomorrow evening there is more matches. It's the finals, the semi-finals happening tomorrow down here at J Club in Jumeirah. So come out and check out the Flying Daf Squash Academy players, the coaches, see the different players involved in the tournament. Remember, there's beginners, intermediate, and advanced levels here playing today. So, yeah, fantastic one going on.
So yeah, so currently at the third game, Abdelaziz is in the lead 2-0. And, he needs one more game to be able to win. And for Dario to win, he would need to win 3. So it would have to be, the ultimate comeback.
So did you hear that, folks? The ultimate comeback is absolutely on.
Yeah, it's very common for squash players to be 2-0 up, and then to lose 3-2 at the end. It's the worst, actually. It's very frustrating because when you're 2-0 up, you kind of feel so close to the finish line. You feel so close to victory, and then you end up losing.
How many times have you been in that situation? Have you gone through that?
I literally cannot count. I mean, it would I would have to look into my matches history to be able to answer. You have no idea, but it's very common. But I'm one of those players who I have a lot more history being 2-0 down and then winning than being 2-0 up and then losing.
What do you think it is then for you? What helped you when you were 2-0 down? What helped you come back?
It's kind of like you get into the other person's head. They think.
Bit of smack talk going on.
Yeah, 100%. They think they won already. So you start winning, and then you win the first game, and then you win the second game, and the fifth is easier because the other person is already so frustrated that they were 2-0 up, and then you were able to catch up. So it's easier to win the fifth game at that point. But it's a very, very, very hard, mental situation to be in when you're 2-0 up or down, and then the other person turns things around.
Yeah.
So let's see if it happens today. I mean, Dario's actually in the lead right now, 5-3. So you never know, might happen.
That's what we love about sports, the unknown.
Yeah, the unknown.
Uncertain.
And betting. I really like betting on people.
Yeah. What do you normally bet?
I'm not sure it's appropriate to say on air.
I go through the dollar bets.
6-4. Okay, he's moving towards. He's in the lead right now.
He's in a better position too. I mean, this is higher than he got last game, and he just seemed a little bit more mentally out of it last game. So being in the lead for him obviously is a bit more of a boost for him and helps him.
Of course, yes.
Push through. I mean, being young, if he's only 15, obviously that emotions do play a big part.
Yeah, 100%. So Dario's really working hard on the strategy right now. You see he's making Abdelaziz run from every part of the corner.
And if you can hear the crowd in the background, there's only about 18 of them
Yeah.
supporting Dario here in the third.
Nice. So yeah, Dario's in the lead. He's really improved his strategy from the previous 2 games. He's really, I mean, if you can notice, he's really making Abdelaziz run from one corner to the other. Really making him run, from all 4 corners. But the first 2 games, Abdelaziz was the one in control more. So a bit of action shot here from Abdelaziz, hitting the ball between his legs.
Do you think there might be a bit of play of the mind game coming out to try?
So actually 10-4, so he's 1 point away from winning the game. Nice game. So he came back from 2-0 to 2-1.
Comeback hit, from India.
Yeah.
Doing the job.
So this will either be 3-1 or 3-2. Let's see how this goes.
3-2 in favour of Dario.
Yes.
So Dario turned this one around, making a match out of it. So taking the third one, 11-4 there. Players just outside the court, having a bit of sit down, a bit of a lay down, and also chatting between each other as well. Good to see a good camaraderie between the players here. Squash, just to give you a bit of background on what's happening in the background here. We've got both players and coaches out here just sharing some words of advice between each other and what both players can do to keep the intensity up, keep the fight coming, and from Dario's side, what he can do to bring this back and take this into a fifth decider. So there's Dario again. You can see on the back he's got his Jumeirah Grand Prix squash shirt on. Obviously competed in a couple of games over in Jumeirah. So it'll be interesting to start to see what happens here, to see if Dario can get off that nice flying start he did. And there's no pun intended on that one, but he got off to a flying start and looking to do exactly the same thing here in game number 4. Cool, so it's level play. And a beautiful shot there by Dario to start this one off. Giving himself that one point advantage. And that's always a good one too, when you're behind the 8 ball, I suppose you say. You definitely want to get that first point just to feel a little more confident moving around the court. Maybe a little bit of intention there from Abdulaziz to look to speed this one up. Coach, a little bit of question there from on stream. You'll see that players switching sides. So when they get the service, they're able to choose which side they want to serve from. You'll see it's very common for players to serve towards the opposition's back end. And then if they win that point after having the serve, they have to switch the opposite box. So 4-1, Abdulaziz getting off to he's the one getting off to a fly here. Oh, Dario there, unfortunately just hitting the tin. Just a little bit too low there. Come on, the underdog. Here we go.
Yeah, so currently Dario is down, but I really believe he can, he can bring it back up. 6-2. So 2-1, 6-2 to Abdulaziz in the lead.
Have you seen Dario play much before? I mean, you also got him in the academy, but have you seen him like in the competition style? Have you seen him play a lot of competition?
I've seen him play only on a local level. I haven't seen him play, any international events. But he's actually improved drastically since he joined the academy. He's been improving so much, and he's one of our top junior players.
That's asking, how do you feel? How does he feel under the pressure? What have you seen from him in the past?
He does really good with pressure. So he's not one of those players who breaks under pressure or anything like that. So, which is why I'm saying I really think he can turn things around.
Well, he certainly has here already. He's come back to 5-6, so just behind by 1.
Between his legs again. Nice.
Beautiful shot. You see it a bit more in tennis now these days, don't you? The whole between the leg shot. You don't see it as much in squash, but nice.
It's the trend.
Yeah.
This one, and there's another shot you hit between your behind your back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They haven't done it yet, but it's also very common. Unlucky.
Seen this fourth game, he's seen a lot of players get to the ball a lot earlier, play their shots a lot earlier as well. It's nice to see.
Nice shot, very good shot from Abdelaziz. 2 points away from winning the match.
Start the chant. Dario. Dario. Yes. Works.
7-9. Let's see if Dario can turn things around.
Oh, beautiful shot.
8-9. This is where it gets, very, very critical. Like, this shot is extremely important right now.
Nice.
Still going. Oh, he anticipated that.
Oh, Dario.
Nice point. Abdelaziz in the lead. Only 1 point away from winning the match. Oh, nice.
Dario staying alive, that's the one.
So yeah, if he wins that point, that means they have to do deuce. So the first to 2. So let's see if it happens. Making him run. Very smart. Still in it. Oh, down.
No.
So 10-all, he did it. Ultimate comeback from Indian
That's our
Dario.
boy. That's our boy.
So it's deuce. So the first 1 to 12 wins.
No. Dario did not help himself. I'm actually waiting for a stampede.
It's almost unfortunate because he worked so hard to get to 10, and then he just made a silly mistake. Done. Game.
2 unforced errors there, unfortunately sitting Dario out. But what do you think?
I think it was good. I'm a bit disappointed because I thought my boy Dario would come back. But other than that, I think it was really good. I mean, it's really good to see junior players these days keeping up with older athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I think it was very good, and he did a very good job of keeping up with the high pace and staying in it the whole time.
What's one of the learnings you think Dario can take out of this one?
I think he's a bit impatient, so he goes into attack mode a bit too soon, which causes a lot of unforced errors. So when playing with these, if you're playing with a higher level player, you really need to stay so consistent and not be so rushed to attack. So he just needs to be a little bit patient and work more on his strategy.
Cool. Would you be giving advice to Abdelaziz as well?
No. Abdelaziz is the enemy. And he heard me saying that right now. He's staring at me.
What's something people can expect for the remainder of the competition today and moving into tomorrow?
So we actually have about 40 players participating. Yesterday was day 1. We put everyone in a category of 5 people. Mm-hmm. So each person gets to play 4 matches in their round robin, and then they get to qualify. Today we have the rest of the qualifying sections, and then tomorrow we have the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals.
And what time are those scheduled to play?
So the semifinals and the quarterfinals are at 3 p.m. and then the final will be at 4 p.m. So just after that.
Brilliant. Actually, since she's on camera at the moment, the young lady Tia, This is the third time I've seen her on court today.
Yeah. Tia is 14. She's from India, and she's been here.
Not Dario's sister, is it?
No, she's not. She's been here for at least 7 years, and she learned to play squash here, and she's been playing here. She's also one of the good junior players out there. But she does get frustrated quickly, which affects her game. But other than that, she's very capable and has very good technique and very good style. So she's also one of the top junior players here in the UAE.
How is the female game going at the moment here in the UAE?
So we're really, it's one thing that the sport is underrated, but it's another thing that it's really not common in the female demographics. We're trying to change that by creating, we have 3 times a week, we have ladies only sessions. We make it exclusive only to ladies, so they have full privacy. And at the same time, we had our first ever ladies only tournament. We have another one in September. So we're really trying to attract as many female as possible. You would be surprised at how many people are actually interested in playing squash, how many females are interested in playing squash, but they don't know where to go or where to start or what community to join.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be, accessible, and we're trying to promote ourselves as much as possible so we can get them on. But one other thing I really like about this tournament is that you have people from all ages. And from so many different backgrounds and different nationalities. And, for example, Tia is a 14-year-old Indian, but she's currently playing with a 30-something-year-old guy, which is not something common. It's not, you don't necessarily see this format in a tournament. It's usually broken into age group and categories.
Yeah.
So you have under 11s and then 13 and then 15, and female and male are separate. And then anyone over 18 is in the adults category, but we kind of mixed everyone just to really encourage people to play with different levels and to really get as much value out of as possible out of this tournament. We actually had a boy who's 10 years old joining the tournament, so that was the youngest.
Yeah.
And then the oldest is 71. So we have a big range here.
Do you know the player that Tia is about to play here at the moment?
I don't. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. But just from the warm-up, Tia seems to be hitting the ball, much more controlled, much better than him. She seems to have a lot more experience as well. But you never know with the warm-ups. I mean, you can very obviously see that his style of hitting is not as smooth or as controlled as hers.
Yep.
So just by watching the warm-up, I can already tell that she's going to win. But you still never know. Squash is very unpredictable.
Might pull up some of those guerrilla tactics, eh? Those minder games.
Yes.
Seems to happen from the older generation, I'll say.
Yeah.
So I believe we're gonna hang around, and we're going to bring you this game between Tia and her unknown opponent. We're about to find out his name, and it'd be great to see some female talent taking on the other gender. See who the youth versus the wise, I suppose you could say. And what could be a very interesting game indeed. So hang around and we'll bring you that action very shortly. What's his name? to the J Club here, the squash tournament, the Flying Daf Squash tournament. Games could be taken off without us, kind of left us behind, but that's okay. We will catch up in a second. Joining me on commentary is Khalid, the head coach here of the Flying Daf Squash Academy. And he can identify the players so you know who's who. And
Hi there. So this is the one with the red shirt. This is Ahmed. He is a player in the academy, and also Adham. Like both are Egyptians. If we can clearly see that. So yeah, like despite Adam is being a little bit younger, but yeah, he's a little bit he's having an advantage because he's been like playing for like a lot of years. So
how many years have you been playing for?
Like for too long. I think he's been playing in actually Alexandria, my city in Egypt, like even the same club. He has been playing since maybe he was like 6 years or 7 years old, and now he's like 20. So I believe he has been playing for speaking about like 10 to 12 years at least. Yeah. But Ahmed as well, he's a very good player, but I think Adam is still on a different level. He got like enough training in Egypt and also here, and yeah, I think you got an advantage here.
I seem to start off quite close. Let's 5-all. Oh, excuse the scoreline there. 5-all now. Is there something like tricks that these players pull out to try and get their advantage over the other?
Sorry, again?
Is there a trick with one of these, like these players, since you coach them, is there something they like to do to be, they prefer drop shots, they prefer both, they prefer to drive,
yeah, actually, like especially Adham, because it's been a while that he hasn't been playing, so he prefers going for long drop shots because he don't want to run, so he want to take it easy way. And also Ahmad, he prefers playing like the low shots, so that he tries to finish the ball like as early as possible. So because both, they need some work on their fitness, so they try to make it easy by playing just long drop shots and short balls. So yeah. See, that's what I was just talking about. See, keep on playing, just long drop shots, so that you just want to make it easy. Good shot, to be honest. Both are gonna keep on playing low, hard shots, trying to end it as soon as possible because they're already tired.
I was literally about to say, there's actually a shot you guys cannot see on screen. We have a second shot.
Yeah.
And you can see the puff coming.
Yeah.
That was quite a quick one. Like you said, obviously you talk about them as far as like both players going to kill the ball as quickly as they can, as fast as they can.
Exactly what happened. Although the score was high, it's maybe like 11-6 or 11-7, but still, if you notice, like each point they don't extend the rallies. Anyone is playing a serve, it's just, yeah, exactly. They're just like answering the serve, and the other one playing a very low ball or a drop shot, just like, come on, let's just try to finish it.
I saw Ahmed there trying to kill a few off the serve actually straight away.
Yeah. The thing is that working on fitness in Dubai sometimes a little bit hard in summers, because in summers usually like our fitness routine is outdoor. So in summers the weather is not so helpful. So like there is like a lot of missing in the fitness sessions, the outdoor fitness sessions, running, all of these things. So the fitness levels goes down a little bit. Also, like it's off season, so a lot of vacations, they are traveling. So both of them have been traveling recently. So whenever you go back to your country, you mostly think about food, your mother's food, these things. So it was like,
mom, man, hey.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a priority for them. So they come back not fit, no fitness, and we have to take it from there. So yeah.
We were just talking about fitness, but I'm quite surprised that the kid came out so quickly back onto the court, considering how much he was.
Yeah, because there's like limited time where can have a break. We cannot just like
It's still
stay
90
forever.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not, Alright. I'm thinking way back in the day when I had a little play around. Like
So you used to be playing?
I used to play. My mum was a player, and she would drag me and my brother down, and we enjoyed it. So it wasn't really dragging, but it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh god.
Just going down. It's kind of common in New Zealand. It's like okay.
But that's interesting. You know, when it's like starts from the family beginning, so you actually get a chance to like the game.
So I got a huge appreciation for the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely my fitness came from playing squash.
Oh, good. It's like 80% about fitness, to be honest.
We were just talking about before, actually, in the last match, how it's, it's the second or one of the top two at least, as far as fitness is concerned, the highest amount of fitness.
Absolutely. The good thing is usually in squash, it would be like the best aerobic exercise or fitness exercise you would do. You would do it for like 1 or 2 hours, and you don't feel that you spend a lot of time. You're actually, it's like, oh, it's been like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. And I felt that it's like 15 minutes. Even usually, like whenever we are having tournaments, whenever we're having games or anything, usually like I like to jump into the court to have like a few games with the kids or with whoever is available from the players, and then suddenly I find that it's like, oh, half an hour passed, like, or 1 hour. It's really weird, but yeah, it's
time flies when you're having fun, right?
exactly. Squash is so much fun, and you just go check your calorie counter, and you find a lot of calories are burnt, and you're actually having fun. So you double the fun. Like I burn a lot of calories, and at the same time I am, having fun.
You're in the head coach role now. You've obviously still have to play. When did it start for you? And what kind of things did you achieve with your squash career?
Sorry, what
Like, when did you start playing the game of squash?
I started playing when I was young. It was like also like 6 to 7 years old, that range. Started playing. I wanted to go professionally till I got an injury at the age of 15. It was a little bit severe. It was my knee, so I had to stop for like a year for some treatment. I couldn't play along by then, and then after a year I tried to get back, but it was a little bit tough to jump in. So yeah, I just stopped. But maybe like 2 or 3 years later, maybe at the age of 19, maybe or 20, I started coaching there in Egypt, and yeah, I've been coaching also here in Dubai, like part-time till the project of the academy started, and yeah, it became like a constant project. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Is there some players you look up to, or you admire, or you follow on the pro tour?
For sure. Any like squash player or any squash fan, usually like there is like a set of players that they admire on a personal level all the way. So
any of them New Zealanders by any chance?
Who?
Any New Zealanders by any chance? Kiwi New Zealanders? People like they play squash in New Zealand.
I didn't think about that, but I would love to go there at some point. So yeah,
Do you
why
know Jolly
not?
King?
What?
Jolly King.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah. So yeah, but like personal favorite, like of all time, probably like Amu Shabana. He was a very personal favorite. Like he used to play like the classic perfect game. So I used to love like watching any kind of games that he's playing with whoever the opponent, whether it's like exhibition, friendly, PSA game, final, quarterfinal, anything. Like I used to enjoy his game a lot. I used to learn a lot. Even most of the time when I'm guiding my students, I'm referring to Amu Shabana's videos because he almost perfected the game.
Yeah.
And as well,
How you can pull the ball out of such a small tight back of the court and pull the ball out of
he makes it look so easy. So yeah, he was on a different level, and yeah, for sure, like all of the current players, Mohamed Shourbaghi, Ali Farag, this generation is like, I call it the golden generation. We never had like that huge amount of amazing players. Yes, Faris, Zahid, Mohamed Abul Ghar, Ali Farag, this generation, and they're all like almost the same age. Like this batch, it's one of the best, to be honest. So and they're still going. That's that's the lovely thing. It's like they keep on going and they are always hungry for more.
Yes.
So I love this.
With do you see the sport and obviously, like I say now, the live streaming and stuff like that, there's the TV side of things, and there's the World Circuit of Squash, and it's been more televised, it's getting more airtime, helping the game grow. Do you see that happening here in the UAE, or do you see the more males, more female players wanting to play squash here in the UAE?
Recently, in the when I first played here, I was just coming on a vacation. It was 2007. The squash market was so dead. I couldn't find any players, any tournaments, anything. It was like different. But then, like around 2014, 2015, I started seeing that it's growing. The market is growing. Like there are some serious players with great potential.
Yeah.
They are trying to move on, and this was actually one of the things that encouraged the academy. Like the market is getting better in the players who want to take it seriously, want to go for PSA. So this was like one of the main targets. So the academy actually that encouraged the idea of the academy. Like why not we try to sponsor these kids, sponsor these players, and try to make something to deliver, you know, a good vision regarding the PSA and the players.
Looks like the match is over. Looks like the match is over, is it?
Yeah. It's
so it was just first to two, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that
as I told you, like Adam, he was.
It's quick.
Yeah, he was quick. He was really good. So.
Don't blink, it goes very,
he
very
just
fast.
finished it fast enough.
Cool for anyone still on watching us then. I didn't realise it brought us to the end of the game pretty quick. It was 11-7, 11-3. Adam, they're winning confidently and quickly. We're going to finish off the stream there. But again, thank you everyone for joining us. And if you want to come and learn the game of squash further, bring yourself down to here at J Club, or also at the Manana, I believe.
Yes, Mina Salam.
And you can join the Flying Daf Squash Academy. You can meet Colin.
Yes,
he can take you through
please be my guest.
100%. Anywhere they should particularly go to sign up or register to come on down, or they call, or do you have a website?
Yes, there is a website, there is an Instagram page. They can send any inquiries or anything, they can send it right away there, yes. And in case like you can reach out through the website or through the Instagram, you can just contact the J Club or Mina Salam right away. They will connect you to us, so no worries about it.
Too easy and too cool. Okay, guys, take care. We'll see you on the next one. Remember, coming down tomorrow too for the finals happening, quarterfinals, semis, and finals happening in the afternoon.
Great.
Cool. Excellent.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.